Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Apps Bookselling University's course, Writers Should Speak, how authors can share their message and push book sales to the next level through speaking. This is the intermediate level course, BSU 103. So let's get started here. All right. My name is Dan Blanchard, and I'm an award-winning author and speaker and educator. I've written multiple books on multiple subjects and have traditionally published and I have also been speaking for many years. Started off a long time ago through a public speaking class in college, and then joined Toastmasters, where I gave over 100 speeches, won numerous competitions, and quickly climbed both the leadership side and the speaker side of Toastmasters. Now today, as my new life of author post Toastmasters, I have done all sorts of advanced real-world speaking. I've appeared on over 100 radio and television shows. Twice they liked me so much that they asked me to come back and co-host their television shows. I have also done over another 100 speeches in the non-Toastmasters, post-Toastmasters world, I guess you could say. I've even given a keynote speech at the National Honor Society's annual conference. This is a society that I was in no way smart enough to get into when I was still in school. And hey, come to think of it, I've also done a night speaking seminar at Yale University, another place I was never smart enough to get into when I was a student. Funny how the world works sometimes, isn't it? So finally, here I am. Now, I'm a professional educator. I have taught and coached thousands of students, athletes over the last 20 plus years. And I'm going to talk to you today about some speaking that you can use through your authoring and hopefully educate you in the right way to make this easy for you and make it productive so you can sell more books. So let's get started here. Why do you want to speak? Well, because it's scary, right? That's why. Listen, public and professional speaking is scary. We all know that. I mean, ain't I right in saying that most writers just want to write? I mean, many of us, we want to stay away from the whole speaking thing if we can. I mean, that's just natural. However, just doing, the writing these days, that just isn't enough for us authors anymore. If we want to become successful and make a difference in this world and sell more books, unfortunately, just writing alone is not enough anymore. You see, here's the thing. Readers are what makes or breaks us authors. And readers want to know our faces. They want to know our voices. Well, basically, they want to know the person behind the writer, the author. They want to know the person. This is important to them. All right? Now, the good thing is, if you're brave enough to speak, as well as write, then your profile, your image, your platform will get a boost. I mean, a funny thing happens when you're up there on that stage in front of a room. People actually begin to think that we're the experts, and they need to listen to us, and that's kind of cool. I mean, come on, just look at it. Look at how the room is set up. I mean, all the seats are pointed up at us in front of the room up there on that stage. The dynamics of the way the room is set up, I mean, it creates like a dynamic of people wanting to listen to us, and look at us, which leads to the perception, that we're the ones that should be listened to. And that's like really cool. I mean, and this, then this, this leads to like the perception that we are the experts that need to be listened to. And then throw in the fact that we've written a book, which gives us a voice in print, of course, and at least some expert status in the written world, of course. And then, whatever, and a couple of that with the verbal voice, of us in front of the room or up there on that stage or on the internet or whatever it is. And guess what? We now become a double expert. Yes, a double expert. And that's a good thing for selling more books. All right? So listen, it's pretty cool to be a double expert. I'm sure you agree with me, don't you? I mean, this double expert thing, this amplifies our voice. It amplifies the message, what I'm saying, which we're trying to get out in a book. It also, it builds our profile, builds our image, it builds a platform. I mean, this eventually results, of course, in us, with more book sales, of course, and more income. I mean, and that extra money, come on, we all know that's going to help us do more of the things that we want to do to help our families, ourselves, our loved ones, in the world, make the world a better place, right? Of course. So another benefit of publicly or professionally speaking is that now we've also not just amplified our written voice and our verbal voice, but we're also beginning to build our visual voice. Or maybe I should say like visual recognition, maybe. Listen, here's the deal. People begin to recognize our image. That's a good thing. And then when we put all three of these things together, this builds our brand. And of course, what we stand for. And in today's digital media world, we're going to find our speaking moments and visual pictures. They're going to be floating all over the internet. And, we're going to be marketing what we do. I mean, how we do it and what we serve. I mean, this is all great stuff. And here, with our written, verbal, and with our visual voice, it really comes together in multiple modalities. And it helps our message get across better. And it helps us sell more books. So not only are we like a double expert, but now we got like this second and third voice. I mean, we're hitting people in multiple modalities. We're hitting them from every direction, and they're really getting to know us, and this is a good thing. So remember earlier when I said that readers make us or break us authors? Well, the truth is, the readers, here's the deal. They want to share time with us. They enjoy our message, and the experiences, through, there are multiple modalities and senses, of course. They really want to feel like they really know us. And, and as they read about us in the written word, and they hear from us in person, whether it's on the radio or it's on the internet, or maybe it's up there on the stage, they're getting that feeling. By employing, and activating our readers' multiple senses, they get to feel like they know us better, and maybe that we're on the same team. And this is good for book sales, because any good salesperson knows that people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. Now, speaking of that, unfortunately here, did you know that the average number of marketing touches that it takes to get some people to seriously consider our product or service has gone up? Yeah, it has. I mean, it's gone up to 8 to 10 touches. And that's a lot of reaching out. It's a lot of commitment, a lot of time, right? But here's the good news. The good news is that for those of us, who don't stay only on the internet, because those numbers are kind of for the internet. I mean, those numbers are kind of skewed for the internet. Those of us who don't stay only on the internet, maybe the ones that speak, I'm saying it's a different story, okay? And this is really good news for us as speakers. I mean, we have a much better shot at making a sale with fewer interactions. Because, when we speak to an audience, each potential client, customer, they get to hear and see us like in action. And that makes the decision of whether or not they want to do business with us easier. Trust me, it gives us more influence when we speak. And with more influence, we don't have to have as many interactions as other people who just stay in the written word only, okay? So here, speaking publicly or professionally, listen, it gets our message out there so that more people can be part of that message and, and get to know, like, and trust us. I can't emphasize that enough. It gives more people opportunities to know that we exist. That's important. I mean, they got to know who we are and what we do. I mean, in addition, and even more important, speaking helps us build our courage muscle. That's very important. Now, listen, wouldn't you agree with me that it's scary to speak in front of people, especially like when everyone's like looking at us? Well, I say let's do it anyways, because it will make us braver. After all, the world favors the brave, doesn't it? So let's be brave. Let's be bold so that the world favors us. And, we can begin to like live this life that we're truly meant to live. In the end, speaking is just another way to monetize our content from the front of the room and then add up our income from those additional book sales in the back of the room, as well as, the bookstores and the internet down the road. So here it is. Don't be afraid. Now remember, as an author, you're already seen as an authority. You're already seen as a person of influence. You're already one step ahead of your audience. And that's all you need to be. Trust me, that's all you need to be. You don't have to be Superman or Superwoman, right? Listen, speaking will help. It's going to help us authors to get our message out. And it's going to build our list of followers while we're getting, the contact information from our potential customers and building that all-powerful email list. All right. Furthermore, remember, authors, publishers are going to want to know, they're going to want to know like how big our platform is if we decide to go that way. And this is going to include how big our email list is. So now, let's talk a little bit about FAIR. According to polls, the greatest fear of average people is public speaking. However, we ordinary fearful people, we need to remember that powerful people out there have used public speaking for thousands of years to persuade and influence others. I mean, think about this. 95% of the average audience listening to a speaker is in awe of the perceived courage and talent that it takes to stand up there and deliver a speech. I mean, this sense of awe creates a magnified impact on listeners and carries far more credibility than a person trying to persuade someone one-on-one. Right? The great ones know this phenomenon exists, so they master the art of public speaking. You too can do this. You too can someday play with the big boys and be a person of influence. All right? I know you can do it. But first, we're going to have to overcome our fear. And in overcoming our fear, there's 3 places to do it in public speaking. You got your pre-speech fear, you got your speech during the fear, and you got your after the speech fear, your post-speech fear. So, listen, this is the deal, okay? Basically, the how to publicly and professionally speak, or the what that you're going to speak about, it doesn't really matter if you don't overcome your perceived fear first. So let's jump on this pre-speech fear and find out what we can do about it. You see, here's the deal. You're going to be finding reasons to not take that first step of planning if you don't beat your fear first. You got to stop sweating it. When it comes to speaking, nobody knows what you're going to say anyways. So who cares if you forgot to say something that you wanted to say? Right? No one knows. So don't worry about it. Hey, you guys all remember FDR, right? Remember when he said something about you have nothing to fear but fear itself? Right, yeah, you're starting to remember that, aren't you? Okay, well, here it is. Here's FDR's famous saying with a little twist on it. You got nothing to fear but fear itself, even if you're an author who might be an introvert. Yeah, you see, at the end of your life, you're going to regret more of what you didn't do versus the few dumb things you did do, okay? So let's get out there and do it. Don't let that pre-speech fear stop you. Hey, listen, fear, F-E-A-R, is nothing more than false, it's the F, evidence, it's the appearing, that's the A, real, that's the R, right? So it's false evidence appearing real. It's not real, folks. It's fake. Fear is fake. The only thing real about fear is the opportunities that it's keeping you from taking advantage of, including the opportunity of publicly and professionally speaking that will make your message better known and help you sell more books. So now, you're probably wondering, well, what do I do when I get nervous? Well, I got to tell you the truth. Believe it or not, I still get nervous. Yep, I do. And what I do is I try to take a couple of deep, common breaths and remember what I've read about John Kennedy. People said JFK wasn't really that good of a speaker, believe it or not. But what made him special was that he always looked like he was having fun up there. And he was always seemed to be enjoying the podium and his time with the audience. And that's something I try to visualize and do when I'm up there. All right? So go ahead, put on that smile, laugh a little bit. Imagine having some fun up there too. And then go have some fun up there, even if you got to fake it. And I'm sure you all heard that old saying, fake it till you make it, right? Hey, remember, here's the thing, that you're the author. You're already one step ahead of the audience. You're really qualified to be up there, even if you don't feel like it, okay? You are the person the audience came to learn from. You are the person they will come to see, okay? And that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So let's stop making it a bad thing, okay? Let's stop that. We're sabotaging ourselves. All right, we're keeping ourselves from great things. Hey, listen, I know that it's easy to get that feeling of, oh no, I'm an imposter, right? People are going to see right through me, and they're going to find out. that I'm an imposter. Listen, people, please. Push those fake voices to the back of your head. Push them way, way, way back there, out of sight, out of mind, so far back. And then continue to keep pushing them back while you keep pushing yourself forward, way out in front of the average audience and the average person. Come on now. We're adults. No, there are no longer any monsters in our closet. We can do this. We're not afraid of the dark anymore. And we don't have to be afraid of speaking anymore either. All right? Come on. Listen, here, I'll give you some more tips on these pre-speech fairs, okay? Here's the thing. This is going to help you. Get organized. Get very, very organized. Practice and prepare extensively. Prepare. Okay? Eliminate the fear of rejection, right? What if my audience hates my speech? What if they boo me off the stage? It's not going to happen. You got to keep telling yourself that. It's not going to happen. All right? And listen, work on your breathing. When you focus on your breathing, right, and these pre-speech times, when you focus on your breathing, your voice will have more resonance and you will relax. Breathe calmly and focus on getting into a rhythm. It's almost like a common meditation. Okay? Also, give your speech to another person first. Have them look it over, offer suggestions, okay? Because you may be saying things that you know, but that other people don't know. All right? It would be good to take a public speaking class. That'd be kind of cool. That would help you a lot. Give you confidence, right? And this is something I lightly exercise. I do this all the time. Lightly exercise before speaking. You get all that nervous energy. Lightly exercise. Jump around a little bit. All right? And here, another thing you can use is a PowerPoint. PowerPoint would help you. Okay, you can use the PowerPoint. That could be really great. You don't lose your place. Just keep going through it. Or it could also be bad too if you're just sitting there reading it word for word for word. You can't do that. All right? Just put up a couple bullet points and then just start talking. All right? All right. So here's another thing. Pick a speech or a subject that you really care about. That will overcome your fear. Okay, it will help a lot. All right, and meditate. I know people say that they meditate every day for real, and that it helps them be centered and calm and all that stuff and overcome their fears. Sure, it'd be great. It will be great for pre-speech. And start small. All right, you don't have to sit there and hit a home run and go for something huge. You don't need a TED speech. It's your first speech. Start small, and that's going to help you a lot. Okay. And here's the thing: don't memorize. Right? Don't try to memorize your speech. It's not good. TED Talks, they talk a lot about maybe memorizing your opening, maybe memorizing your closing, but nothing in between, guys. You don't want to do that. You don't want to sound canned. All right? People want your personality to come through, all right? So don't memorize the speech. The better thing to do, just prepare an outline. All right? Prepare an outline, and of course, get to know your audience a little bit. So the stuff you're going to say is, going to be accepted warmly. All right? So get to know your audience a little bit. And finally, reduce stress, right? Listen, the most fearful moment of any presentation is the 1 minute before you go on stage. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the football. I used to play football. So, after the first hit, it was fine, right? So here it is. The most stressful time is the 1 minute before you go on stage. Okay? After that first hit, it's going to be fine. Okay? So here it is. Use the tactics of, let's say, the elite athletes. Visualize a powerful outcome, and keep using that deep belly breathing to reduce your stress and build that confidence. And then if you have to, you're not going to get that first hit like in football, but if you have to, run out there. I remember I used to see Tony Robbins running out there all the time, and using that nervous energy to get in there all fired up and all that stuff. So maybe that's the equivalent to that first hit in football. Run out there and get to it. You're going to be fine. This is going to be fun. It's going to be exhilarating. You're going to have a great time doing this, and you're going to sell more books from doing this as you build your platform. All right, so let's move on to our next one of during the speech. You get up there. I'm telling you, a lot of your fear is going to go away when you get up there, but not all of it. Okay, you're still going to have some of it left. Right? So when you get up there, maybe one of the best things you can do. Maybe the first thing you should do is just breathe, all right? In through your nose, out through your mouth, taking a relaxation breath. Relax. Forget about your fear in public speaking. Smile. Go ahead, look at the audience and give them a big smile. All right, and just enjoy yourself. And think of like JFK, right? Enjoy yourself. I mean, you've made it. These people have come to see you. You've made it. Now you're offering them a gift. Okay? You don't have to be afraid of offering them a gift. Okay? So here it is. Focus on your material. All right? Focus on the material. Don't get too caught up in the audience. There's always going to be people that are going to have their cell phones out or something like that. People are going to look away. I mean, our attention span is short these days. So just because they look away or look at their phone, it doesn't mean you're bad or they don't like you. People just multitask all the time now. So don't focus too much on these people that might be multitasking. Focus on your material and the gift that you're delivering them. I just don't overthink. Don't overthink with the audience's reaction. There's a lot of things that are going on, and so don't overthink it. Just get in there and give your speech. Again, remember JFK. Look like you're having fun, all right? And avoid talking too fast. I know sometimes I talk fast, right? But avoid talking too fast. You know, vary the speeds, but definitely, I mean, don't talk too fast, at least too often. It's good to talk a little fast once in a while and get excited, but don't talk too fast too often, all right? Because here's the thing, I mean, talking fast during a speech, it interferes with your breathing patterns, and you don't want that. I mean, if you talk too fast, you're going to breathe less, all right? And that's not a good thing. You're going to feel short on breath, all right? And it's going to like make you feel like, you know, a little more like panicked or a little more like susceptible to fear. I mean, you got to just, you know, practice slowing down when you speak, and you're going to be more calm and relaxed. And you know what? It's okay to take pauses. I take pauses all the time. Sometimes it's nice to take a pause right when you're getting ready to speak, and the very first thing you do is take a pause. That's kind of cool too. All right? So listen, if you still got this nervous energy and you're not beating it, then make your nervous energy work for you. You know, move around, jump around, be dynamic. Run through the crowd a little bit if you want to. You know, drop down and do a couple push-ups. I mean, I've done so many of these different things. One time I remember doing a forward roll across the stage during one of my speeches about a crazy trip I took in Mexico. You know, don't be afraid that we can get out there and get physical. Make that little nervous energy work for you, okay? And when you're out there, listen, have pride in your work. Recognize your success. You don't need to be scared. Have pride. You're there, buddy. You're successful, all right? And, of course, I've already said this, but I'm going to say it again. And every now and then, just stop. Utilize the power, all right, of the pause. It's extremely powerful. And other tips, following the pause, find a friend. If you got a friend in the audience, right, every time you get nervous, you just look over your friend be nodding your head, smiling at you, encouraging you, all right? Just find a friend and make eye contact with a friend from time to time, right? And engage the audience. Ask them questions. Get them involved. Get them talking a little bit. And all of a sudden, you're going to see not all eyes are on you, and you don't really have to be afraid. It's not like you're one big happy family, okay? And listen, always be willing to make some mistakes. If you're not making mistakes, you're not human, you're not going big enough. Get up there and make some mistakes. Realize everybody in that audience has made mistakes. And every one of them, even if you make a mistake, most of them wish they had the courage. They can trade spots with you and make the mistakes you're making up on that stage. So be grateful for the mistakes you're making up on that stage. And speak from the heart. You know, if you're speaking from the heart, you're going to move these people. All right, you're going to move them, and your fear is going to be a million miles away if you're speaking from the heart, and you're picturing yourself as a winner. All right, and then breathe some more. All right, go ahead, breathe some more, and do another pause. And then remember that you did your homework, and you know your audience. Got nothing to worry about. Okay. Also, body movement. Stand tall. All right, that's going to help you. Walk like a winner, okay? It's all going to help you, all right, with your fear. And then again, I'm going to say it again. Jump around if you have to. Jump around. Do some push-ups, whatever. Do whatever you got to do, okay, to use body movement and to use that anxious energy, all right? All right, so after the speech, all right, you should be so happy that you're up there having that chance to speak, and when you successfully nail it, you're going to be incredibly happy, all right? And then for this post-speech fair, what I want you to remember, and I want you to remember it well, is no, you did not stink up the place. You didn't. You were awesome. All right? I want you to come down from that stage. Don't you go hide somewhere. You get down there and you mingle with those people. You talk to them. And you're going to see that you did fine. You're a rock star. You did fine. They want you down there talking to them, all right? And they're going to get to know you even better, and the book sales are going to be even better, okay? So be bold, you rock star. Do it. And then you know what? Ask for payment. Get your payment. You deserve it. You earned it. Get your payment. Ask for endorsements. Ask for leads, introductions to your next speeches. All right? You deserve it. Ask for it. Be bold. Don't be afraid, okay? And then proudly sell your book in the back of the room and sell a lot of them. All right? So be strong, be brave, all right? So here's the thing. You're overcoming your fear, right? All right, so now you probably want to, okay, I think I can do this. I think I can do this, right? So now, what do you speak about? Well, that's a pretty good question. What are you going to speak about? Well, you're going to speak about your content, of course, right? Or your next book or your articles or something that you've written or experienced. You're going to speak about these sort of things, okay? So listen, here's the thing. You're going to have to speak about something you're interested in, which is probably your book, right? Or the book you're writing, or maybe the next book that you're writing or that you're working on, all right? It's probably going to be that, all right? The thing is, you should talk about something where you feel that you need to make a difference. Talk about something where you feel you can make a difference. Okay, so if it's not going to be your book, if you're going to go beyond your book, then or maybe you don't have a book. I don't know. But maybe you speak about your work, right? Hopefully your occupation is a passion of yours. If it is, then speak about it. And if it's not, well then what other things have you been thinking about at work, or just basically what do you think about? Okay, what things do you think about when you're driving your car? What are you thinking about when you sing in the shower? What are you singing about in the shower? Okay? What thing do you find yourself talking to your friends about? What are you reading about right now? Okay, what are you searching for on the internet lately? What did you used to think about when you were a kid? What did you go to school for? College. What did you go to college for? What is something that you're curious about? Okay? If you're curious about it, then you'll be willing to learn more about it. And if you commit yourself to speak about it, then you will get to know that topic very, very well. Okay, hey, listen, it could be, it could make like great material for, let's say, your next book. It could be just from something as simple as something you're curious about, something you talked about, and boom, you got something for a book. That's awesome. What the speaker can also do, it can help you, let's say, refine your speaking. Refine your thinking, refine your marketing points, on the book that you already have or the book that you may write someday if you haven't already written a book. So now listen, what I don't want you to do though, okay, let me repeat this. Don't do this. Sometimes, see, here it is. Sometimes when we see experts, we see them up there, they're trying to be like everything for everybody. Don't do that, okay? This is something we want to avoid, okay? So once you know what you want to talk about, which is good, then it becomes, and this part's bad, it becomes very tempting to want to create the biggest, flashiest, most comprehensive speech, maybe even course like this one that has ever been done. You don't want to do that. And to be honest with you, that's not what most people want. Okay, they don't. See, most people, they have a very specific pain point that they want solved. Yep, that's right, I said pain point. Okay, so here's the deal. You need to find out what people's pain points are, and then just talk about that. Heck, you can even post a tweet asking your audience what they're struggling with, or send a survey out to your email list. And once you get to the responses back, you'll probably have multiple micro topics that you can talk about in your upcoming speeches, and then maybe materials for articles or books or blogs or whatever, right? So listen, here's the deal. Wherever your audience is hanging out, meet them there and find out what their problems are or their pain points, okay? In addition, when you're like planning your speech, find out what level your audience is already at, okay? And then just begin there. Meet them there. Don't be too simple. Don't be too complicated. Okay. Too often, we make things way too complicated, way more than they need to be. Don't you agree? Often I'd say we probably don't make things simple enough. So maybe if you're going to err somewhere, maybe err a little bit more on the simple side, and then you can follow it up later on with maybe some consulting or another book or something. There's some coaching. Who knows, right? Maybe another speech, maybe another like advanced speech. This course that I'm doing right now, I decided to keep it simple and follow it up with another more advanced course on this subject of why authors should speak. So don't be afraid to do that, okay? All right, so let's move on here and say, how do we start? Okay, here's the thing. You're going to first start with study, study, study. You're going to want to know more than your audience on the subject, whatever subject you pick. However, this is not, believe it or not, it's not as hard as it sounds. You see, listen, most of us, have probably already done the work because we've written something, maybe it's a book, an article, whatever it is, we're an author of something. So we've probably already done the work to know more. We probably already have study. All right, so we probably already know more than our audience, but it doesn't hurt to get in there and do a little teeny bit more. But listen, here's the thing. We already know more than our audience. Wouldn't you agree? Of course you would. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to try to pre-build our reputation as an expert. All right. And we're going to pre-build our reputation as an expert by serving on panels. Okay. Maybe write articles that are related to our subject matter. Okay. Listen, you can write another book, right? Or even a research paper on your specialty subject, right? That will help you. Professional speakers, they should also develop, let's say, marketing materials, of course, develop a website, a blog. All these things are going to help you pre-build your expert reputation. Now, listen, I know that I'm probably already stressing you out and maybe making you feel like a little bit overwhelmed. And listen, I'm just getting started here. I'm telling you what to do, all right? And I'm telling you what steps to take, right? To go from, let's say, just an author to an author and speaker. But don't sweat it. It's going to be okay, all right? All right, listen, I get it. I get the getting started as an author who also speaks might seem intimidating and overwhelming. All right, but trust me when I say that you're already more than equipped to get started. You really are. So just relax and trust me on this one, okay? Relax and trust me on this one. All right, you're already more than equipped to get started. Okay, so now here we go. Let's move on here to our next one. All right, one should never start without getting some kind of training. All right, and listen, and a great place to maybe get some training, a great place to do this, a place where you can practice with low levels of stress and high levels of support and encouragement is Toastmasters. Yep. You could even, let's say, also take a public speaking course in the college. Maybe at adult education, or maybe even in some business place like Dale Carnegie's speaking courses. You could do that, and you're going to get a lot of support and encouragement, and the stress will be low. It's a great place to get some training, okay? Listen, you can join a speaking association or a group like the National Speakers Association, or even the Connecticut Speakers Association here if you're in Connecticut, you know what I'm saying, or if you're somewhere else. Every state has their own Speakers Association. You can do something like I did when I joined the Hartford Springfield Speakers Network, and my old friend Bill Corbett used to run that one. Yeah, and then here's the thing. Once you get into some of this stuff, you might find yourself catching the speaking bug, right? You could actually become, let's say, an accredited speaker, not just a published author, but also an accredited speaker, and that would be cool. You could join a Toastmasters Speakers Bureau. That would be cool, right? You could maybe give yourself a long-term goal of speaking up on a TED stage, doing a TED Talk. Now that would be like hitting a home run, wouldn't it? Imagine how many books that would sell. That would be freaking awesome to do something like that, okay? So, okay, let's move on to our next one. Listen, believe it or not, a really good non-traditional avenue to get started with speaking could be the media. Media is a great place, okay? Radio is awesome. Radio interviews could be a great place to start your speaking career because, listen, here it is. You get to begin speaking on the phone in the comfort and safety of your own home, right? What's better than that? You don't even got to look at anybody. You just go get on the phone and start talking. Oh, I mean, what's better? That's so easy. And listen, and after you get comfortable with the phone radio interviews, you can even take the next step with a little more courage and actually go into the radio station, go into the radio studio, and maybe just look at one person. I mean, that wouldn't be too bad, right? Plus, believe it or not, that one person that you'll be looking at in the radio studio, that person wants you to succeed. They want you to do well. So he or she, they're gonna help you. They're gonna do whatever they can because they want to have a good radio show. So they want you to do well. They would do everything that they know how to get you to relax and to create like just a simple, easy, one-on-one conversation. All right, it's gonna be beautiful. In that one-on-one conversation, that it's going to be happening. It's going to be taking place over the radio. And while you're doing that, it's going to be taking place over the radio while you're speaking to perhaps a very large audience. Audience that would be way too big to ever fit into a single building, by the way. Imagine that. Oh, wait. Hold on. If you're just starting and still nervous, maybe you shouldn't imagine that yet. Okay, but trust me, if you can do that, you can speak to that kind of audience over the radio. Any audience that you can physically stand in will be small by comparison. So just put that like in your notch that in your belt for another thing of bravery, okay? Listen, here's the thing. The whole one-on-one conversation and the conversational tone that you can do with in the studio or on the phone with the radio personality, listen, believe it or not, it's really going to help you lay some groundwork for better preparing your speech. But when you do eventually stand up in front of a room or up on a stage, okay, the audience is going to love your ability, to keep your conversation, your speech conversational. They're gonna just like you're talking to like them, like a one-on-one buddy, right? Or just kind of like back to the radio personality, right? Just like you're talking to them. If you could do that up on stage, you're gonna have something special, okay? I mean, someone in the audience, I imagine a lot of people in the audience. They might get that feeling that you're like personally talking to them one-on-one. And what's better for a connection than that? Those are the kind of connections that sell books, okay? So please remember, okay? Listen, I want you to please remember this, all right? Great presentations, they're delivered from the heart, not like some script. You see, good writers, and I'm sure you're a good writer, but good writers aren't always good speakers. Some authors, they're like afraid that they might miss a word in their speech. Okay, keeping it conversational will help. It's going to help with the whole author word fixation that so many of us have. All right. So here's the deal. I said let's write out our speech, in bullet points. Let's outline it, and let's just speak from the heart. Okay. Let's just speak conversationally, like we were speaking to one friend. Or maybe we were back on that radio show. All right, it's going to really be a way better way of doing it. Okay, so now let's talk about volunteering. I don't know where you are in your life or what stage of your life you're in, but let's say perhaps you're still young and you're in college. Okay, if you're in college, I want you to volunteer to stand up in front of your class, maybe even high school, middle school, whatever. Just volunteer to stand up in front of your class. All right. And project your answers with a warm, confident voice. Okay, maybe if you're a little bit older, or maybe if still college age, volunteer to coach a youth team, so that you have got to stand up there in front of all those mighty mites and their parents by speaking with some kind of confidence and expertise. I mean, if you're a parent, you're getting a little older, you're a parent, volunteer to go to your kid's classroom and share what you know with the students. All this stuff is going to help you. And listen, regardless of who you are or what you do, seek out like civic organizations, associations, or even just plain clubs, and go into their cozy little atmosphere and talk about what you know. Volunteer to do this. And by doing this volunteering, speaking, you're practicing some more. Now you're speaking in front of any group that you can get in front of. You're doing it every chance you can get. All right. I remember I read a book about Jay Leno, a great nighttime comedian there. I remember he said his mentor told him, they said, Jay Leno, if I ever find out that you turned down a volunteer opportunity to go tell some jokes, he goes, I will stop mentoring you. And Jay Leno never turned down an opportunity to volunteer to go tell some jokes. And we shouldn't either. Should never turn down an opportunity to volunteer to go talk about what we know. Okay? Listen, and here's another thing. Another good way, believe it or not, to speak, I guess volunteer, is to speak for free. Okay, go speak for free. It helps a lot. Okay, or speak for, let's say, a really low fee. Okay, that's going to help you get these opportunities. I put on brief programs at your local business. People, let's say an after work thing. All right, don't charge anything. All right, this is really going to help people in your field recognize you as something different from the ordinary, and and someone who knows, knows what's going on. Someone who's special. And who knows where this can lead? Can lead to all sorts of other opportunities to volunteer some more and to get out there and really shape your craft and really get your message out there. Okay, you can do this. So volunteer. All right. So here's the thing. I got to tell you something. People are not going to just ask you to speak. They're not. All right. It's very difficult to get people to ask you where they speak. I mean, I'm at that point now where every now and then people ask me how to speak, but there was a lot of work and time that went into this. So what can I do to help you get in a position closer to where I am right now, where sometimes you do, get people to ask you to speak? Okay, so here it is. You're going to like the first one. The first one is to write often. Okay, write often. I know you authors out there are going to love this one. You're already doing this, so just keep doing this. Just keep featuring your work, okay? Because basically, the way you're going to get people to ask you to speak is, you're going to have credibility as an expert. That's how you're going to get them to speak, and writing is definitely one way to do it, okay? So next, another way to do it, to be seen as that expert with credibility, right? And to get people to ask you to speak. Another way to do that is solve a problem, okay? Make sure that you solve a problem in your writing and, of course, in your speaking as well, right? Now, you must prove that you're the expert in your field, like a unique solution to people's problems. Create a few how-to pieces, okay? When I think of unique solutions, I think of Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, how he kept saying that your home is not an asset. He had some very unique ways of looking at things and unique solutions. He kept saying your home's a liability. So he had definitely unique ways of problem solving for people to build their financial intelligence and their financial capabilities. Okay. Another one, moving on. Another one could be to provide a short bio in every article publication. Make sure it's in there, right? This allows your readers to authenticate your work, all right, and makes you more real, all right, and hopefully gives them a way to get a hold of you. Next, you got to feed the market. All right, you've got to feed your articles and blogs to the market. That's how it goes. A crucial mistake that authors and speakers too make is believing that someone's just going to find them. Someone's just going to find their work. Listen, it doesn't really happen that way. Remember when you graduated from college and then sat there and looked at the phone and wondered why your phone wasn't working? People don't find you. It just doesn't happen. You have to feed the market. Okay? You got to send your content to meeting planners. You got to send it to professional organizations, where you'd like to be featured as a speaker. Not just your base support. Your base support's awesome, but not just them. I mean, remember, the market's flooded. You can't just put it on Facebook and think you're done. Right? The market is flooded, okay? You're going to have to go to where your niche is, all right? Sometimes maybe even a micro niche. So you get in those niches and you feed the market in those niches your stuff, because they ain't going to find you either. And when you feed that market of your niche or micro niche, now all of a sudden you got people asking you to speak and asking you for help, okay? So moving on to the next one, create a theme, okay? Am I jumping one here? I should say become a contributor, right? Become a contributor on high-level platforms. Okay, get out there, publish your content, publishing your content on your personal blog, then Facebook, all that stuff. That's wonderful, right? But here's the deal: well-paid speakers are expected to do way more than that. They're expected to, be contributors and content writers for large platforms. All right, so you got to do more than just posting it on Facebook. Okay, you got to be a contributor to large platforms. All right, and again, niche, believe it or not, it's not an oxymoron. You can do a niche and be on large platforms. All right, so now we're at create a theme. So here it is, create a theme for all your content, right? All your content should be like, it should be like featured. Sort of like a title of like your movement. For example, here's one. The recent increase in women in politics. All right, this is great. This provides consistency for meeting planners who may be seeking people to do presentations on politics, people looking for people to do presentations on women, maybe gender, maybe leadership, okay? I mean, basically, listen, when you create a theme that you'll be known for, and not just the latest trend gaining some popularity, but when you create a theme that you're going to be known for, it makes a big difference. People start coming to you, they start knowing who you are. You start building that brand and that name recognition. All right, and finally, here it is, become a resource. All right, become a resource for other authors. Yes, other authors. You heard me correct on that, right? You see, there's a real power in being quoted by other authors. And, this can totally lead to great speaking opportunities and more book sales. I mean, think about it. When you're quoted by other authors and their audience, their audience loves them, respects them, right? And they mention your name, their audience is going to look you up. That's a wonderful thing. All right, it's going to help you sell more books and do more of the things in life you want to do. So definitely become a resource for other authors as well. All right, so moving on. Okay, so now, where are you going to find these speaking gigs? All right, again, hopefully you're doing everything I'm telling you to do. And some people are, starting to come to you and starting to ask you to speak. But listen, they're not going to come to you all the time. All right, so you still need to get out there and hustle. All right, and one of the first things you need to do is ask. You got to ask, ask, ask. You never stop asking, okay? It's just how it is, okay? Listen, I wish this game was easier, but it's not. Building that level of expertise and credibility where people, are always asking you to speak, always asking you for the help, where you're selling tons of books in the back of the room, that just doesn't happen overnight. So in the meantime, I'm going to repeat myself. You have to ask, 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 okay? In the beginning, here it is. I mean, in the beginning, listen, no one's going to do it for you. They're just not. You're going to have to do this yourself. So ask, 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 okay? And the next one is, listen, here's the deal. There's really good news here, all right? And the good news is that there are thousands of meetings every day, okay? There are thousands and thousands and thousands of meetings every day that need speakers. So why can't one of those speakers be you? It can. It can be you, okay? I mean, think about this for a minute. Well, churches. I mean, have you ever heard about somebody speaking in churches? Of course you have. I mean, the church is an opportunity for you. All right, so churches, they're looking for speakers. What about civic organizations? Civic organizations, they need speakers. All right, call meeting planners. Go ahead, pick up that phone and do it. Call the meeting planners. Call civic organizations. Call churches. Stop by there. Show them your face. Let them get to know you. All right, and there's tons and tons of more. Listen, how about this one? How about this one? A local garden clubs. Yes, they need speakers. Absolutely. Elderly homes need speakers. Schools need speakers. Sports teams do too. Various clubs, lots and lots of different clubs out there. Groups, all sorts of charities. They need speakers. Associations need speakers, all right? And you just Google associations, you'll find thousands. I'll talk about that a little more in a minute. All right? Gyms need speakers. Spas do. Small business owners do. They need speakers. Network marketers, I've had them. They've come and asked me a bunch of times to speak at their stuff. Entrepreneurs, small business owners, they've asked me a bunch of times to come and speak, and I've asked them a bunch of times too. Parent and advocacy groups need speakers. Today I was watching TV, and this whole thing came out about this grizzly association, grizzly bear, intercoastal like grizzly bear association thing. They need speakers, all right? Believe it or not, grizzly bear groups need speakers, okay? Moving on, the AFT, the American Federation of Teachers, they need speakers. I've spoken a bunch of times for them. You know, the AFL, the American Federation of Labor, CIO, Congress of Industrial Organizations, they all need speakers. I know I personally spoken to a bunch of them. Political functions, I've spoken there. They need speakers, okay? Speakers are needed at lunch hour. Hardware stores need speakers. Can you believe that? And so do lumber yards. They need speakers. Listen, if you're a self-improvement expert, you could speak almost anywhere. Listen, you could speak at a tea shop, at a bouquet grocer. You could talk at all these places. There's so many of these places, and there's so many, many more, these non-traditional markets that need speakers. All right, specialty stores need speakers. A speaker could speak at a like a car wash, right? A doctor's office, a bank, a restaurant, ski lodges, movie theaters, appliance stores, coffee shops, and it goes on and on and on and on. And what about this one? Let me open up this whole world of the virtual world. Imagine that. They need speakers. Probably thousands and thousands of opportunities there. Corporations need speakers, governments, NGO, non-government organizations, nonprofits. They all need speakers, all of them, right? So just to show you how simple this is, right? I Googled associations. I found thousands of them, right? And I think I clicked on the first link. And the first link was like a Wikipedia. Wikipedia pops up, right? And I found thousands and thousands and thousands of speakers, okay? Here's some more that I found. I'll talk about these in just a moment. All right, but on that Wikipedia page I was talking about, all right, just for ha-has, let me just quickly run through this real quick. There's thousands of them here. Some of them may make you chuckle. All right, the very first one, advertising business marketing. You know, there's the American Advertising Federation. They need speakers. The American Marketing Association. All right, Compete America Association, Graphic Arts Technical Foundation. And it goes on and on and on. Marketing Research Association, Public Relations Society of America, Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives. It goes on and on and on, jumping down to agriculture. Yeah, I talked to you about the grizzly bears before, but here's another. American Animal Hospital Association, American Ambulance Association, American Christmas Tree Association. Imagine that, right? And the list goes on and on and on under agriculture. Whatever your niche is, I'm sure you can find it, all right? Clothing, apparel, footwear, fashion, they got stuff. American Apparel and Footwear Association, Fashion Originators Guild of America, they need speakers. Want to go to energy? How about the Air Conditioning Contractors of America? How about the American Gas Association, American Petroleum Institute, Atomic Industrial Forum, Edison Electric Institute, Geothermal Energy. Guys, they go on and on and on. The entertainment, right? We have the Archery Trade Association. Imagine that, the Hotel Technology Next Generation Association. And it goes on and on and on under the entertainment and leisure. Financial, American Bankers Association, American Council for Life Insurers, American Credit Union, Consumer Bankers Association. It goes on and on and on, guys. Food, you like food? American Beverage Institute, American Frozen Food Institute, American Meat Institute, and the list goes on and on. Construction, all right, American Institute of Constructors, pipeline contractors, it goes on and on. Industry goes forever, guys. American Bearing Manufacturers Association, Aluminum Association, and I'm looking at multiple pages here of that. You know, flipping over, next category, communication, electronics, American Council of Technology Industrial Advisory Council. It just goes on and on and on. Media, the Alliance of Motion Pictures and Television Products, goes on and on and on. And guys, I can just keep going and going and going here. Medicine, tobacco, transport, it just keeps going. Alabama Broadcast Association, they need speakers. Others, Austin Independent Business Alliance. It just goes on and on and on, guys. So if you just look up association, just Google it, you're going to find thousands and thousands and thousands of opportunities to speak, okay? Now, I broke it down for you. I gave you a couple of very simple ones here. You can look at the very first one, trade shows, conferences around the globe. You click on that link, you punch that link into your search bar, you're going to find all sorts of stuff on that. Small businesses from Manta.com, great place to look. Corporations, great place to speak. Associations, there's actually a directory of associations right there that didn't come from Wikipedia. Guys, it goes on and on and on and on. There's so many opportunities out there for you to speak. Okay, but remember, they're not going to ask you, at least not in the beginning. You have to ask them. Okay, you're going to have to ask them. All right, so in conclusion, let me review here. Why do us authors want to speak? Okay, why do we want to speak? Because it's going to make a big, big difference. And people getting to know us, like us, and trust us. It's going to make a huge difference. Okay, but in order and sell books, we're going to sell way more books. Okay, but first we're going to have to overcome fear. All right, we're going to have to overcome our fear. We're going to have to learn, figure out what to speak about. It's probably our content, right? Whatever we've been writing about or thinking about. Okay, how are we going to start this? Oh, you're going to prepare, right? There's a whole bunch of things I gave you to start this. Finding opportunities to speak, as I just told you, there's many, 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 many opportunities for you to speak. So what I need you to do right now is I need you to be proud of what you've done as an author and realize if you've done that as an author, you can do that as a speaker too. You're already a step ahead of everybody else. Even if you're an introvert, already a step ahead of everybody else. And if at first you don't succeed, don't give up. You didn't succeed the first time you tried to write, so don't give up, okay? Listen, you can do this. You can. All right? All you need to do is just start. All right? The trip of, 1,000 miles, the journey of 1,000 miles is made by taking that first step, right? You can do this. Just start. You can do this. Okay, so now, if anybody ever wants to contact me, you can definitely check me out on my website at danblanchard.net. I'm all over social media. Got the Facebook page, LinkedIn, Twitter. There's my email if you want to see me on Instagram, Google+. I'm all over YouTube. Definitely, please go on my YouTube channel and become a subscriber on my YouTube channel. And right now, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to share these beginner strategies with you on author speaking. And please don't just listen to this and then just move on to something else. Listen to this, look at this, and figure out a way to start, and then don't give up. So thank you and have a great night.